Hey everyone. So, you know how every business leader loves to craft that perfect strategy, right? It's like an architect's blueprint for success. But have you ever stopped to wonder why so many of those beautiful, elegant plans just end up collecting dust on a shelf? Let's get into it and figure out what separates a plan that actually gets built from one that just gets forgotten. I mean, this is one of the biggest questions in the business world. You can have the perfect product, you can know your market inside and out, you've mapped out every single move. And then, poof, nothing happens. So, what's going wrong? It's a puzzle that literally costs companies billions.
And here it is, the big secret. The truth is, a brilliant strategy is just that, a blueprint. It's a fantastic drawing, it's full of potential, but a blueprint has never, ever built a skyscraper. The real work, the messy, difficult part, happens during construction. And in our world, we call that execution.
So, before we can even begin talking about the construction, we've got to understand the blueprint itself. What are those fundamental choices you have to make when you're designing your strategy in the first place? Okay, the first big decision is all about your posture. Are you playing offense or are you playing defense? An offensive strategy is all about proactively taking market share from your rivals, using your biggest strengths to hit them where they're weakest. A defensive strategy, on the other hand, is about building a fortress around what you've already got, protecting your turf.
But there's this really cool, special kind of offensive move that can change the entire game. It's called a blue ocean strategy. And it's not about fighting your competitors in some bloody red ocean full of sharks. No, it's about sailing off to find a brand new, uncontested market space, a clear blue ocean, where you get to make the rules because, well, you're the only one there.
It's not just what you do, it's when you do it. Timing is everything. Being the first one out of the gate can be massive. You build your reputation, you create that fierce brand loyalty. But hey, being a late mover has some serious perks too. You get to sit back, watch the pioneer make all the expensive mistakes, and then you can swoop in with a much better, more polished product. And the last piece of the blueprint puzzle is deciding on your scope. Are you going to vertically integrate? Control every single step of the process, from making your own parts to the final sale? Or do you outsource, handing off certain activities to specialists who can do them better or cheaper so you can focus all your energy on what makes you truly special? And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? A great blueprint simply isn't enough. So, if we all agree that poor execution is the villain here, how do we fix it? How do we actually build the thing? Well, it really boils down to three key things. Think about it like a real construction project, right? You need the right crew, you need the right tools for the job, and you need to organize everyone on the job site. So in business terms, that's staffing, developing your capabilities, and structuring your organization. Let's dive into those first two because they're all about your people and what they can do. I mean, at the end of the day, a blueprint is totally useless without a team of skilled builders to make it happen. Great staffing isn't just about hiring a few people. It's a whole system. It absolutely starts with a strong management team, but it has to go way beyond that. It's about recruiting and, this is key, retaining top talent at every single level, investing in their growth with ongoing training, and keeping them sharp by rotating them through new challenges. You need a world-class crew from top to bottom. Okay, so what if you look around and you realize you don't have the skills, the tools you need for this big build? You've basically got three choices. One, you can try to develop them from scratch inside your company, but that takes a lot of time. Two, you can go out and buy them by acquiring another company that's already great at it. Or three, you can partner up and access those skills through a strategic alliance. All right, you've got the right people. They have the right skills and tools. Now, how do you organize them so they can actually get the job done? This brings us to that third key. Structuring for success. This is such a classic dilemma. In a centralized structure, you've got the foreman at the very top making all the big calls. It's super clear who's in charge, which is good. But in a decentralized structure, you empower the people who are closest to the action to make decisions themselves. This can make you way faster and more agile, which is absolutely crucial if your blueprint is complex or super innovative. And of course, that decision on who makes the calls informs your formal org chart. A really simple plan might only need a simple structure, kind of like a small crew with one boss. But a huge global strategy might demand a really complex matrix structure where people report to both a project manager and a department head. Whatever you choose, the key is that the structure has to serve the strategy, not the other way around.
Okay, so we've covered all the core pieces. We've got the blueprint, the crew, the tools, and how the job site is organized. So let's pull this all together into a final playbook for bringing that strategy to life. This right here is the ultimate execution playbook. It brings everything we've talked about into 10 core tasks. Just take a quick look. Now, two that I think are so often overlooked are number 4, allocating resources, and number 8, tying rewards to results. I know it sounds simple, but just think about it for a second. If you don't actually put money behind the plan or reward the people for hitting the targets, why would you ever expect it to succeed? And that brings us to the single most important idea to take away from all this. Your strategy, the blueprint, and your organization's ability to execute, the build, they're not two separate things. They are two sides of the exact same coin. The blueprint you choose dictates the kind of team, the kind of skills, and the kind of structure you need to win. They have to be in perfect alignment. So I'll just leave you with this question. Think about your own company, your own team. You definitely have a strategic blueprint somewhere, but take a really hard, honest look at your people, your resources, and your structure. Is your company actually built to win?